joys of an event like this is the opportunity to visit with people, so I'll just be brief with some introductory remarks, but we're so pleased you could join us this evening. I'm Dave Eisler, I'm the president of Ferris State University. Our evening tonight is a celebration of philanthropy, your philanthropy. It's a celebration of the generosity through which you make a positive and a lasting difference in the lives of our students at Ferris. Isn't it wonderful to be in our new university center? Isn't it wonderful? We're especially proud that we're able to construct this building and not charge our students more in tuition or in fees. It's part of our commitment, trying to hold down financial costs so that we can control the debt that our students can accrue while they're in college. After all, you don't get the opportunity of a Ferris education if you can't afford it. The support that you provide so generously helps our students be able to afford our education. There's a few people I want to recognize tonight as we get started. There's some emeriti members of our Board of Trustees who are here with us this evening. Tom Cook, please stand. George Minutis, Tom Scholler, and Ron Sneed. Let's recognize them. I also want to recognize our foundation board members who are here. Please stand and we'll kind of hold our applause for everybody at the end. John Collins, Gene Elder, John Engelman II, Bob Fryer, Jim Giroux, Carl Einwall, Carl Miller, Kim Murphy, Tom Scholler, Jerry Scobie, Dick Shaw, Howard Strauss, and Gary Chumarko. Did I miss anyone who's a member of our foundation board? No. And Carl Ruff. Please stand, Carl. I'm so sorry. Please stand. Over time, you learn it's better to ask than to be sorry. But I'm sorry, Mr. Carl. Throughout the evening, it's our pleasure to share with you what your generosity makes possible for our students. In this, we continue the tradition that began in 1884 when Woodbridge and Helen Ferris began their school, making opportunity the cornerstone of their vision. First, let's enjoy the dinner that's been prepared and served for us by Ferris Catering. Enjoy your dinner. Catering. Let's also thank the people who helped put on our evening tonight. And as I name your group for your name, if you just stand and we'll full applause for everybody. And the members of our Student Alumni Gold Club, if you stand, our student tour guides, Bill Bensinger, Bill's already standing, but he has a great time. Rich People did the video we're going to see from Marketing Communications, Nate Clark and Ann Hoganson and Destiny Gorby, who did a lot of the work tonight. Let's say thank you to all the people. I don't know about you, but I sat down at the table and there was this wonderful note from a student. Did you see that? What a nice touch. I know I'm going to take mine home, and I hope you do the same. But thanks for the folks who are working with our students and encouraging them to say thank you. It's a wonderful quality. I'm very impressed that you would do that. We put together a short video that highlights some of the things that your giving to Ferris has made possible this past year, both through new donor support and major continuing support. believe that was the world premiere of that video. At least I know I've not seen it before. It was fun to look at all the academic diversity that we have at Ferris and to look at all the ways that your support helps enhance our university, improves the education that our students receive. So thank you so much. Philanthropy at Ferris makes a wide range of activities possible here in Big Rapids and Grand Rapids and throughout Michigan. The video, I hope you noticed the sign we unveiled recently naming our College of Pharmacy building as the Hagerman College of Pharmacy building. A major gift we received this year from Phil and Jocelyn Hagerman, the Hagerman Foundation, provides student scholarships, including the Hagerman Scholars, endows a chair in pharmacy, and supports the upgrade of our teaching facilities. Those three areas, student financial support, faculty scholarship, and physical resources, are key to providing opportunity and promoting academic excellence. Know that our students, our staff, and our faculty join me in thanking you for your support and everything it makes possible. Thank you so very much. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Katie and Jim Moore. Katie and Jim are current employees of the university. Katie is a secretary in the surveying engineering program, and Jim works as a custodial equipment repair technician in the physical plant. Katie began working at Ferris in 2002 and Jim in 2001. In 2011, they established 2 annual scholarships, one to support students in the College of Health Professions and one for students in the College of Engineering Technology's surveying engineering program. They decided to make students a priority because of their firsthand experience with working alongside students and helping them. Because of this, they recognize the financial challenges that students face. They have also given their time and talents over the years hosting and volunteering at many different student gatherings. Jim and Katie are also avid hockey fans. During hockey season, you can find them at Ava Glaven Ice Arena cheering on their Bulldogs. Katie and Jim Moore, would you please stand? Thank you so much. I think Jim is going to come and share some words with us. Jim?
Good evening. I want to thank everyone for being here. It's great to stand up in a bunch of avid people like you are that support this university and these colleges. About a month ago, we got a notice from advancement and marketing to, we'd kind of like to go out to lunch and discuss some things that we had at last year's donor dinner. Maybe ways to improve things or look things over. So we had a meeting with them, went out to lunch, and basically it was only about 5 minutes until the conversation kind of got a little, I don't want to say tiring, but we weren't really talking about anything anymore. And I looked over at him and I said, all right, what's up? And they said, well, we'd kind of like to have you address the donors this year. What an honor. Unbelievable. Just talk about your scholarships, how they were formed, what you were thinking when you did them. And I said, well, it really doesn't take a whole lot. All you have to do is want to give back. It's really a simple process. We had talked to different instructors, we had talked to different department heads, and some of the responses we got back were kind of surprising. President Eisler touched on some of them. Well, you guys do so much now. If they need donations, you go out and get donations for them. You spend time with them. You always seem to be involved with something. And I said, yeah, but I think we can do more. So we got back a hold of the Advancement Marketing Department. And we said, we're going to do this. We had originally set up a scholarship for the survey program. And of course, it was a wow, it's great that you give. And we said, yeah, but I think we'll do another one. And again, there was the wow, thank you so much for all you give and all the time you spend. There was a point where I guess I realized every time I talked to someone about this, there was two words that always seemed to come up. And those two words were give and wow. I talked to a staff member here recently who had one of their children graduate as a senior. Now this senior had received at their awards banquet 3 or 4 awards. He received an exit scholarship. But the thing the parent relayed back to me was when the program was over, this student had numerous professors and instructors come up to them and say, what a privilege it was to have that individual in their classroom. And I said, well, you've done the right thing. You've given everything you possibly can to further your child's education. They have given back by studying. There's a point where, I'll be honest with myself, have you ever heard a word sometimes when someone is speaking and you go to the dictionary, I shouldn't say the dictionary anymore, you go to the computer and you type in its definition. I've done it many a times. But there's sometimes when I go to that same computer and I type in some of the more common words that we hear today. One of them was give. We all know what giving is involved. The definition comes up very easily. It's a transferring of something from one individual to another. But there's also another definition of give that when you think about it, we've all done it, and our students all do it every day here on campus. And that is alter in shape under pressure rather than resist or break. They do that every day when they step onto this campus. What we do helps them adjust. We've all been there. We've all had to leave our homes, leave friends that we've gathered through our lives to come on to a new community, to a new campus. The pressure of getting good grades, the pressure to succeed, the pressure to live up to our parents for what they want for us to achieve. The other definition I looked up was wow. To express admiration, a sensational success. That's what we're here to provide. When this gal was telling me about her student that graduated, she said, when all this was said and done, all I could do was sit back and think of how proud I was. And all I could say was, wow. She turned out to be a sensational success. She said, you did everything right. Just like we do here today. We try to do everything right for our students. If you ever have the opportunity to be on this campus, to be in Kendall's campus, when your scholarships are awarded or your gifts are handed out, I want you to remember one thing. When we take our give and they take their give and we bring them together, you will witness the wow. It's an unbelievable feeling. To close, I'd like to say it's been a great honor to be here. I cannot believe that anybody would ask me to do this. I grew up south of town, a little over 200 acres, just a normal kid growing up in Big Rapids. It has truly, truly been an honor, and I thank you very much.
This is for you and Katie.
All right.
Wasn't that wonderful? How profound. It couldn't have been said better. Thank you, Jim. And Katie, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your support. You truly do embody the spirit of giving back, and now I'll add to the script, and wow. I wish everyone could experience our students the way that you do and respond so generously to their needs. Thank you. I'm honored to introduce Howard Strauss, the chair of the Ferris Foundation. Howard's a person who has great passion for our university, and I'm very grateful for his help and support. Howard, would you join me?
Jim, that's a pretty hard act to follow. I'm not going to try to follow it. Just I admire the talk that you just gave. It's very heartfelt, and I was very interested to hear your words. I think I have the best job in the world, but I may be a little bit biased. Back in the 60s when I went to school here, the buildings that we had were not quite like this. I've been told this is 141,000 square feet, so I'm pretty sure I don't have enough fingers and toes to count up all that. But this is one of the most remarkable buildings I've seen, but it's very symbolic of Ferris. When I came this morning for our board meeting, it was about 8:45, and I think the word, Jim, was wow. I felt like I was in New York City, and I was about 10 years old, and I was walking around doing like this with my mouth open. It's a good thing there wasn't too many students around, because I would probably embarrass myself, but this building is remarkable, and I just had to say that. As the chair of the foundation, first of all, and most of all, I want to thank everybody that's here tonight, because you all are friends of Ferris, and big friends of Ferris. So I want to thank you all. This is your night, and I hope you're enjoying yourselves and seeing people maybe you haven't seen in a while, and others that you just met for the first time. And we also want to tell you about the expanded role of the foundation. Up and through the last day of last year, the Ferris Foundation would manage the endowments, but there was a variety of ways in which money came into the university that was given. And that was all well and good, but we now have a unified force, all funds that are given. Now, they'll certainly go where you want them to go. I don't mean otherwise, but the foundation is going to be the voice, if you will, of giving in the university. And that was recommended to us, and we have now started to follow that since January 1st of this year. So up to that point, we had 364 scholarship and programs that were endowed, scholarships and programs. That was our Ferris Foundation inventory, if you will. And we certainly had a lot of non-endowed scholarships. I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. I have a friend back in Florida. He's never seen Ferris, but he certainly heard a lot about it because I tell him all the time whether he likes to hear it or not. So one day he sends me a check, and then he comes in the office later and he says, no, I want to send it up. So he sent it to Carla Miller, but it was one proviso. He wanted to make sure it went out to somebody fairly soon, within a few days. And it did. And it went to a veteran who was matriculating here at the school. So that is a non-endowed scholarship, if you will, and that young man was able to, he was assisted right away. So if you're wondering what a non-endowed scholarship or program award is, that's a good example right there. So, and then when you do see young people, I want you all to remember, start telling them about giving, to use Jim's word again. Jim, that was a very impressive speech. I'm still reeling from that one. I told some of the students that I met tonight, even if you can only send, when you graduated and started paying on some of the student debt, send $5. Just start a habit. That's all you have to do. $10 a year. It's no big deal, but it is a big deal. So just start with that. So we welcome the opportunity at the Ferris Foundation to be able to manage the gifts that you all give us. And we do not take any of those gifts for granted. I want to switch hats now, and I get to introduce somebody. It's a Uber, I think. I think that term is still used for a young lady who is a student at Ferris. And I'm going to be the first one, I'm told, to introduce her in a minute. And she is the future Dr. Barstow. So I have the privilege of saying that the very first time. And I'm very pleased with that. I asked her if I could do that, and she said yes. Her first name is Leanne, and she's a student here. And she's quite a good student. She's very emblematic of many students here, but I don't want to take away from her achievements. I'm just going to give you a sample of what this young lady has achieved. First of all, she's going to be a student in the Michigan College of Optometry. So that's how the doctorate part comes along. And then here's some of the scholarships that she's received. The Michigan Competitive Scholarship, the Dean's Scholarship, the Honors Residential Life Scholarship, the Honors Alternative Spring Break Scholarship. I haven't wondered about that, a spring break scholarship. I think I must have majored in that or something, but I didn't get a scholarship for it. You'll have to tell me about that later.
Mission trip.
Mission trip? Fort Lauderdale? Excuse me, I'm getting off message here. The Ferris, here we go. Ferris Foundation Opportunity Scholarship. The John R. Smith Memorial Leadership Scholarship, the John Newell Memorial Scholarship. Those are just some of these. I think you all would much rather see Leanne up here than me. I know I would. So Leanne, future Dr. Barstow, would you please come up to the stage?
Salty, bitter, depressing. The taste of my tears had become all too familiar as I sat in the pew of my 22-year-old cousin's funeral last August. Puffy eyes, sniffling noses, and quiet sobs filled the church. Just 3 years prior, the scene was the same. I had unexpectedly lost my grandpa, my father figure, since moving to my grandparents' home after my mother's death and my father's heartbreaking remarriage. At the young age of 20, I have lost too many loved ones. I know how precious life is and how quickly it can be taken away. This is why it's so important to me to better the lives of those still living. My recent acceptance to Michigan College of Optometry will give me the opportunity to do just that. As an eye doctor, I can give, restore, and maintain my patient's vision to ultimately improve their quality of life. My preparation for pursuing my doctorate began in grade school and continued into high school, where I maintained a 4.0 GPA. My academic, leadership, and volunteer experiences in high school prepared me for success at Ferris. I chose Ferris because of its legendary pre-professional programs and professional science programs, in addition to its comfortable location, ideal size, remarkable honors program, and incredible opportunities both in and outside the classroom. During my last 3 years here, I have earned a 3.79 GPA, held a part-time job at the sports complex, and served as president of Honors Programming Board, a representative on Honors Council, a mentor in the Honors Peer Mentor Program. I am also affiliated with Honors Student Council, Free Optometry Club, and Student Alumni Gold Club. Due to my involvement, I was awarded the Outstanding Leadership Award at last spring's Honors 4.0 banquet. Just as these leadership opportunities and scholarly experiences helped me become a graduate at MCO, the Ferris Foundation Opportunity Scholarship also aided me in achieving my educational and career goals. On behalf of Ferris and its students, I thank you for your generous support. You have made a difference in my life by lessening the financial burden of my career goals. Pursuing a secondary education, especially a doctorate degree, is very expensive. Just as many of my peers, I also face financial restraints, so school would be an option for me if it wasn't for financial aid and scholarships like yours. It takes special people to do what you do, and you made me feel special every step of the way. During my application for the Ferris Foundation Opportunity Scholarship, I was selected to submit an essay detailing the obstacles I faced and the achievements I've made. Then I was interviewed by the Gifts and Grants Committee of the Foundation's board. They took their time getting to know me, and here I am tonight, sharing my story again for all of you, and getting really emotional in the process. So thank you for listening. This personal process and esteemed scholarship have been very meaningful to me, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. Although the deaths of my family were very tragic and are heartbreaking still, without them I wouldn't have realized my dream of becoming an optometrist or have the privilege of receiving your scholarship. I assure you that your generosity will live on through my future career, touching people's lives just as you have touched mine. Thank you.
Leanne, thank you so much. We're so proud of you. It's a feeling that you get a lot this time of the year at Ferris. You're both proud and you're humbled by the students here around. It's a remarkable story. Thank you for sharing it. Howard, we appreciate so much your leadership of the foundation. Thank you. It's my pleasure to present now the inaugural Pass the Torch Award. This is given to a donor that has made a difference through significant contribution to Ferris. This contribution includes monetary support, but also includes a gift of time, expertise, and resources. Our inaugural recipient is given to Ferris in all these ways. After graduating with an associate's degree from Ferris in 1963, serving in the military and private industry, he returned to Ferris to complete his bachelor's degree in technical education in 1971. Began teaching in the heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration department at Ferris the same year, retiring in 1998 as department chair. He was instrumental in growing the HVACR program, expanding the curriculum from a 2-year associate's degree to a 4-year bachelor's degree, with the first graduating class in 1986. develop training for HVACR technicians to obtain certification for environmentally important removal of chlorofluorocarbon. Had to look that up. Most of us know this by the brand name Freon. This is what I didn't know. This program generated more than $2 million in revenue for the program. The funding was used to establish the Ferris Foundation's HVACR endowment, which is now valued at more than $5 million and generates earnings to support HVACR scholarships and programs. He served on the Ferris Foundation board since 2005. In addition to serving as board chair and as a leader for our development committee, he's worked with the advancement staff to engage alumni and friends. He's made a planned gift to provide scholarship support for football, hockey, and HVACR students. I think that combination can only exist at Ferris. As well as a programmatic endowment for Ferris athletics. Cannot think of a more fitting a true bulldog, to receive the first Pass the Torch award. I think most of you know who this is. Please welcome a wonderful man, a good friend, and a great benefactor of our university, Mr. Dick Shaw.
Well, after Leanne has supplied me with all these wet eyes, I don't know if I can read this, but maybe I can see enough of it. But first of all, thank you, Dave, and thank you, Shelley Armstrong, and the whole university advancement team. And when I say team, it's truly a team. That's doing some marvelous things here. This is a real honor, and it's a real honor to be chosen as an inaugural recipient. But particularly with this body of fine Ferris friends who are donors and who are givers. I wanted to say a couple things about what the Ferris Foundation is and one of our initiatives that I think is particularly fitting for this group. But the mission of the Ferris Foundation is to advance the mission and goals of the university by generating and managing private support for the university. Now, Dave and others have looked at the funding of this place on an annual basis as a three-legged stool. That of state support, which has done nothing but go down, that of tuition, which unfortunately has gone too high, and that of philanthropy, giving. Because the tuition has gone up, the philanthropy has not been as high as we'd like to have it. The state support has gone down. We've gotten into what we know is a student debt for our students. So when they graduate, it's cumbersome for them. So one of the initiatives that the Ferris Foundation has been the establishment of endowments, and to date, we have 239 endowed scholarships, just student scholarships. These scholarships are helping students year after year, forever. They're established legacies that keep on giving and keep on growing. Some of these will be giving 2 scholarships eventually, possibly. So wouldn't it be awesome if when we pass the torch next year, there would be 400 or 500 student endowments, or endowments that fund programs, or initiatives that articulate the wishes and the passions and legacy of donors, of the givers. Well, I think together we could pass the torch with a tilted stool. And it's tilted because the giving side is pushing it up. And those endowments will keep on growing. They'll keep on giving. And they'll keep on reducing student debt forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Dick. Thank you so very much. At Ferris, we deeply value opportunity. When I visit with alumni, I frequently hear this phrase: if it hadn't been for Ferris, we'd never have had that opportunity. And for many of our alumni, that education was a life-changing opportunity, something that took their life in a way that they had hoped that it might become. In visiting with our students now, and I hope you had the opportunity to visit with some students, because it's great to be with friends, but it's just inspiring to listen to our students and hearing their excitement about their future, because what they've done is they've chosen a program that's prepared them for a career, and for many of them, this is something that they hoped and dreamed for much of their life. I think tonight we've seen over and over how each of us can create opportunity, and as I look in your faces, I want to thank you for the opportunities you've created, because you're great, wonderful friends of our university and of our students, and we're eternally grateful for your support. We're trying to provide the best educational experience we can for our students, and we're trying to make a difference in their lives, and we try to do that every single day at Ferris. It's something that each of us who works at Ferris appreciates your support for so much. We're really grateful at this time of the year because we can see some of the end results as we congratulate our students as they finish our programs. They walk across the stage and they earn that degree that they've sacrificed so much to do. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you. We thank you for your generosity, for your compassion, for your commitment to make a difference for our students. Together, we're providing a life-changing opportunity, not just now, but far into the future. On behalf of everyone here, everyone who's going to be here, and the students whose lives we change, thank you so very much. Have a wonderful evening.